What up, Raffleators? Welcome back to my channel. We're back at the Train Line Road and Conversation Tree Road. Since last time we've been here, they've installed traffic lights. So this road is deemed to be completed. They've actually started working on the expansion, that is the widening of the train line road. So they've put up roadblocks here at Blegasite Gardens. Still piles of sand on the road, and we're going to wait to see what that looks like. So they've put up traffic lights on the corner here, not clearly visible. Probably should be hanging over the center of the road like they do elsewhere in the world. That's looking north towards the seawall. We just came from that direction. And those of you who remember what Conversation Tree Road was like 20 or 30 years ago will realize that it's now about 4 times wider. It's about 4 lanes when it used to be like 1 lane. Now, why we're in this neck of the woods is that I heard that it completed the paving of the road that runs beside Delhi Street in Prashad Nagar. So what we're doing in this video is giving you an update, a follow-up on the strip park. Remember, they had turned the reserve into a strip park. With the walkway down the center and foot washing stations, and they had made a series of hand washing sinks. I want to see, since then of course the local news announced that this road had been paved, so I'm back here to give you an update on what's happening in Prashad Nagar. This is Bel Air Road in Plantation Bel Air. Remember, this was the home of Dr. Chetty Jagan, one of the founding leaders of the country, now deceased. His family still owns the property. I showed that in a previous video. And this is Mike's Pharmacy at the corner, at the intersection, and Conversation Tree Road. Now, it seems as if Conversation Tree Road has been diverted to the right-hand side of this intersection that we're coming up with. Right, so the walkway down the center, Conversation Tree Road, continues on the right-hand side, and Delhi Road on the left. So that's what we want to see this morning. We want to show you what the final version of this road project looks like. Remember, I said when I first saw this reserve, I thought it was a good way to put a metro line, a train line, a light rail line down the center, would provide mass transit to this neck of the woods and connect it down perhaps by the gardens, by the Merriman's Mall, connect it with another line that goes all the way downtown. However, this is what this current government has decided to do. They decided to turn that reserve, this reserve that has been in existence for several decades, 50 or 60 years, maybe 70 years, this land was reserved. In other words, no one could build on it, no structures could be built on it. They have turned it into a road, and this is what the road looks like. So we've been down this street before. Down that street is where we found the home of Dr. Chetty Jagan, and this road that runs beside, it's also been paved. That's Delhi Street. Well, let me give you a close-up of what the sign says so you can see, for those of you who want to do a Google Maps search for where we are. This is Delhi Street. All right, we're heading down Delhi Street now, but this is New Haven and Belvoir Court. So this is what has happened. The last time we were here, they hadn't yet paved this road. They had just created the sidewalk. But now, as you can see, they have actually put a surface of asphalt on the road. So now you have a walkway, pedestrian walkway. What of course is missing from this pedestrian walkway is probably a shade, a zinc roof. Those of you who've been to Singapore will know what I'm talking about. So in Singapore, a lot of these walkways, especially in the Midtown area, I've observed this in, let's see, Holland Village, around Holland Village, that area. These walkways actually have roofs on them, galvanized metal roofs, so that when it rains or in the heat of the sun, they're covered and you don't get wet. You can walk for miles and not get wet. That is what is missing here. But however, this is what has happened since the last time you were here. They actually built a road surface onto this section of the reserve. It's now a continuation of Conversation Tree Road. So those of you who used to live in this area could probably tell how different it is now. It's now connected. There used to be a wide and very much covered with vegetation and swampland. This reserve separated Campbellville, which is what we're looking at right now. That's Campbellville. Separated Campbellville from Prashad Nagar on the other side. Right, this is Prashad Nagar. We're looking at Prashad Nagar on the other side. And now, if you haven't been into this neighborhood in the last 30 or 40 years, like some of our subscribers who live abroad, this is what you would see now. Probably wouldn't recognize it, although you would know that this reserve is here. What they did is they created these foot washing stations. Like I said, on this court, they've created these foot washing stations at regular intervals, and these sinks, although I don't think there's any water. All right, so these are now all along the walking path. No water yet has been added, and they haven't yet done landscaping. Seems as if somebody is roughing out the foundation for some other object here. I hope it's some bathrooms, but we'll wait to see what it is. Meaning some washrooms, some toilets. Let's see if that is what they're building here. But there seems to have been a lot of work on this section of the Conversation Tree Road since the last time we were in this neck of the woods. Okay, so we've come all the way from the train line road, right, in the distance, where they installed the new traffic lights, and now we're looking at this walkway that was built in the last several months. This is another sink. These concrete sinks don't yet have any water in them, as you can see, and they claim to be, well, it seems to be some kind of planning or roughing out of some kind of installation at regular intervals here on the sides of the sidewalk. Let me give you a closer look at this paved road. No lines yet on the road, no road markings. But this is what the new road surface looks like. It seems as if it's going to be a two-way dual carriageway road. They've built this new drain. So there's a concrete drain with retaining walls along the western side of this road now, at least from the last street we passed. And this road, if it is a two-way road, two-way street like the one on the other side, would duplicate, I guess, would duplicate Delhi Street. In other words, Delhi Street would be a two-way road, and this Conversation Tree Road running parallel to it would also be two-way. So logic would suggest to me that one of them will be one way going south and the other would be one way going north. However, this is not a country that follows logical reasoning. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what is done eventually. So somehow they seem to be roughing out some squares here. This is another of the new sinks on the side of the road here, side of the walkway here, and they've put, I think, these additional walkways leading out to Delhi Street and to Conversation Tree Road. That's new. Again, foot washing stations. When I first saw these, I was puzzled at them. Somebody suggested in the comments that they might be foot washing stations and they might be common in India. So it might be one of those features that they're copying from India. But it's not